Hello everybody, my name is Jim Chapman and I have to say I'm feeling very smug. 2 days ago I finished all of my Christmas shopping, so I've had a bit of spare time and I've been looking on the internet and everything and have come up with a Christmas gift guide basically based on stuff that I really want, so enjoy! Up first, I have a toothbrush. This is the Oral-B Genius 9000. This specific one is in the midnight black colour, which is exclusive on Amazon. Now, I think this is a really good gift for someone who, one, needs a grooming accessory, but also someone who's really into gadgets and tech, because this is not just a toothbrush, it has a whole lot of stuff going on inside it. First things first, it's got precision technology. So basically, it comes with an app and you can connect your phone to your mirror and it can show you where you're brushing and in areas that you're not brushing quite as well as you should be. And it's actually really fun. You brush your teeth and it gives you like a kind of a gleam when you finish your section. Also, another thing it does is it has cutting edge gum guard technology. So you can see that I've got the blue light here. You can change that via the app, but if I brush too hard, the light goes red, basically telling me to calm down a bit. One of the biggest concerns dentists have with a lot of their patients is that they brush too hard and actually it can damage your gums. So by having this light and also connecting it to the app, you can keep track of how you're doing and keep your gums and teeth in really, really good nick. Now, this one in particular is exclusive on Amazon, and if you buy now, you can take advantage of the Black Friday reductions and save at least 50%. Do you know what? While I'm here, I'm also gonna mention the case it comes in because I've worked with Oral-B quite a few times now, actually, and I just think this is really good. Travel case, so you get space for two brush heads, but also it charges not only the toothbrush, but also your phone or like your portable charger or whatever via USB. And I just think that's so brilliant. Also, if you are traveling and you do want to use the app with it, your phone kind of sits here and pops out so you can use the camera and it can see what you're doing. So even when you're traveling, I just think that's brilliant. I use it all the time. Socks. Now, I really appreciate socks for Christmas, and I know they're a bit of a cliche gift and people don't want to buy them because they think it's a bit lazy, but actually if you get the right socks, they're brilliant. It's things that I don't really want to buy for myself, but things that I really need, and actually they make a big difference. Now, I have rules with socks. In my opinion, there are two kinds of acceptable socks. I'm going to explain them in a second. The socks that are not acceptable are novelty socks. There is just no occasion ever for you to wear the days of your week on your feet, or some sort of joke or some sort of foot related humor. It's unnecessary. Where are you going to wear them? You can't wear them to work, you can't wear them to hang out with people. The only time you can wear them is when you're at home on your own. But if I'm at work, I'm not going to go home and then change my socks. Who does that? So just don't buy novelty socks. My rules of socks are you can go bright and colourful, or you can go very muted and kind of low-key with your socks, but just kind of keep them either like a block colour or a really nice simple pattern like an argyle or something, or you can go thick, sort of knitted, comfy ones. I'll start with these. These are from Mr. Porter. They're by a brand called Beams. They're really nice. I haven't worn them yet, as you see they're still in the packaging, but they're kind of thick. You can wear them lovely with boots and when the weather gets a bit chillier. And they're basically the same, apart from one has a red stripe and the other kind of has that bluey grey going away to the top. Very simple, but will look great with a pair of jeans and a pair of boots. Or you've got these ones here. Now, these are the socks I wear most of the time, London Sock Co. They're about £12 a pair, so they are more expensive than most socks, but they last a long time. And they're actually, as far as socks go, really elegant. I've got them in a bunch of colours, and I bought these for myself because I needed some new socks. They do come in a gift box. However, I ordered these separately and forgot to add the gift box, so I just got 3 pairs of socks. They come in sort of like sets of 3, so you can get a 3 or a 6 or a 9, and there are loads of colours to choose from. But again, you know, if you're going to buy socks, you can spend a little bit more and get something a bit more special. I'm really into this colour at the moment, with my jeans rolled up a little bit and some shoes, and also the orange I really like as well. But you know, nice little addition, and it also shows, I think nice socks show that you know what you're doing with your outfit. For people who like hot drinks but are also concerned about the environment, how about a reusable flask like this? I have to say I don't love the branding on it. 720 degree, I mean, just add the extra E, why not? But it's really nice in that you are saving the world. People who like coffee, you know, take this into your local coffee shop, and rather than having the paper cup with the plastic top, which is obviously really bad for the environment, you just go, hey, fill this up. I actually searched for a while for the right one of these because I want to be able to use it with one hand, and a lot of them have lids that you have to kind of unscrew and you've got to hold the lid while you drink, put the lid back on. This one, you just press there and it opens, so you and then you press there again, it closes again, so you can keep it in your backpack and just fill it up again. Nice little easy gift to get, but something I'd really appreciate. These are everywhere at the minute, but I just think they're really bloody brilliant, and like, they save so much time for me. This is the Google Home Mini, but there are other versions. You get the Google Home Hub, which is a bigger one, and they've also just announced a screen type thing, which is very similar to this, but with the screen on it, so you can like watch the news or watch YouTube videos and stuff. I don't know if that's out yet, but it should be up for Christmas, I imagine. It's not plugged in, so obviously I can't show you what it does, but all you do is you give it a command, starting by saying, okay, Google, and then you ask it a question and it will give you the answer. You can play music through it, you can ask it the news, you can ask it the weather, you can get it to plan your journeys. Just a really handy thing to have, and actually quite affordable. I can't remember the price of this exactly, but I remember when I bought it, I was like, wow, that's cheaper than I thought for such a clever piece of tech. A lot of books here to talk about, so I'm going to blast through them quite quickly. Actually, the first one is the only fiction, the only novel that I have. This is called River of London, and this is the first in a series of, oh, I can't remember how many books are in this series now, but it's really interesting. It's fantasy. It's about, I'm not going to ruin anything for you, but it's about a police officer who suddenly finds himself in the paranormal world. He investigates a crime, and the witness just so happens to be a ghost. And from there, all manner of mischief unfolds. But again, really good. This is the first one in the saga, and I read it a while ago. So actually, I can't remember exactly how it goes now because I'm muddling all the stories in my head. But it's really good story. Next book is this, Homo Deus. I haven't read this yet, but I know I read the one previously called Sapiens at the beginning of the year, and I absolutely loved it. It's so fascinating. My degree is in psychology, and actually the first sort of quarter of the book kind of goes through the stuff I already knew, but actually in more detail. And then the second 3/4 of the book is just, it gives you like a really healthy understanding of how we got to where we are, and also a vision of the future. This one, I think, is more focused on the future and what comes next for us, and I can't wait to read it. And I'm including it in this gift guide prior to reading it, just because I know it's going to be really good. So someone who's interested in where we came from and where we're going, and just has questions about life, this is a good book. Going way back in time, we have this, Before Homo Sapiens. I actually don't know if that's the official title of this book, because I was sent this as like a pre-release before it came out. So I got this at the beginning of the year. It didn't come out until, what, May, June sometime? But if you like dinosaurs, please read this book. I love dinosaurs and I found out so much. Have to be honest, there's not as many photos as I'd like, because, you know, if you're talking about dinosaurs, I want to see what they look like. But it comes from an actual paleontologist, and he talks to lots of other paleontologists, and it's just fascinating to find out like some of the things that existed before us. Really cool. As you probably picked up so far, a lot of the books I've been reading lately have been factual. Not only non-fiction, but actually factual. I've either been reading stuff about screenwriting or about kind of science, and, you know, trying to sort of broaden my my knowledge, I suppose. This is called Forces of Nature, and it's by Brian Cox, who I'm sure, if you don't know that name, you'll have seen him on TV or something. He's like the TV scientist. So intelligent, so clever, and it answers really big questions, but actually in a way that's kind of readable. Really fascinating. On a similar note, there's this book. This is called 147 Things, and it's by me. This came out last year, and it's kind of similar to the books I just mentioned. It's all about learning new things. It's basically 147 things that I find really fascinating. The first of which is basically just how astronomically rare you specifically are. And from there I talk about all sorts, dinosaurs, space, jellyfish, my testicles at some point. I have to say, I loved writing this book. I kind of missed writing it because I really enjoyed it, but it's also genuinely, and I say this from a really humble place, it's really good. I do genuinely really think it's a good book. So if you're interested, get it on Amazon or something. Up next, quite a big gift to show you. My brother actually bought me this for my 30th birthday. And I think this as a theme is really cool. It's basically a poster that you can scratch off. This one is the 100 Essential Films. So basically when you watch a film, you scratch off the film that you've watched, and underneath it is something else. I've seen a lot of these films, but I haven't scratched them because I kind of quite like it looking pristine. I don't want to make a mess of it. I am really curious as to what's underneath them, but I'm less curious than I am scared to make it look bad, if that makes sense. But it doesn't have to be a film one, you know, there are all sorts of different versions of this. So if the person you're buying for is really into, I don't know, Disney, for example, I'm sure there's a Disney one there. Got some fragrances here. There are 4 of them, and you can totally buy them individually. I think they're like 120 quid each. So, you know, unless you're really going big time for this present, maybe you'd like to just pick one of them. But I'm picking these because I think they're really sexy as far as fragrances go. Sometimes I feel like bottles of fragrance can look a little bit naff in your bathroom, but this is a collaboration with Jo Malone and Huntsman, which is a really beautiful tailoring brand on Savile Row, and they've released these 4, and I just think each one of them is wonderful. In fact, I've already mentioned them in the video because I was that impressed by them, so I'm going to pick one of them. I'm going to pick this one here, which is the Assam and grapefruit. So basically, along the bottle here, along the packaging, you've got the word Huntsman, but also Jo Malone. If you were to buy all 4, you can line them up like I just did, so it says the whole word. And I just think, depending on what the person you're buying for likes, I know fragrances are quite a subjective thing, there is something, basically got a varying degree of lightness, which is this one here, through to something a bit sort of woody or muskier, and there's 4 steps along the way. So this one here is very light and fresh. And then the darkest one, which would be what, this one here? Whiskey and cedarwood, or this one here? No, this one here. The whiskey and cedarwood one is sort of the heaviest, so you kind of got steps along the way. If you're interested in buying a fragrance, I can really highly recommend these. I would say maybe it's worth going in and testing them if you're going to buy for someone, because 120 quid, they're quite an investment, but very nice. While we're talking slightly pricier things, I'm also going to mention a pen here. This one specifically is a Mont Blanc. I tend to write with a fine liner, which is basically a mini felt tip, because I have writing that is disgusting basically, and I find it easier to sort of scrawl with this. But I do a lot of writing, I take a lot of notes. As I've mentioned a bunch of times on these videos, I'm writing screenplays at the moment, so I just go through paper so quickly. And it's really nice to have a pen. I think it's particularly nice if you get a pen from a special someone. My mum bought me a pen for my 30th, and I just think it's really lovely. It's something that I carry with me everywhere and that I use basically every day. And it's nice to keep it so personally close to you, but also write such potentially magical things with it, knowing that it's got that sentiment as well. So I think it's a lovely thing. They're not cheap, but they vary. So you can probably get a nice pen starting at what, 150, 200 pounds, and then you can go all the way up to thousands. But you know, if that's in your budget, and the person you're buying for does write quite a lot, I think it's a wonderful gift. Slightly controversial item here, but I love it. I'm going to talk knitwear. Now, obviously knitwear is subjective, and the person you're buying for will have certain taste. I really like this. It's a sweater vest if you're from the States. If you're from the UK, maybe more of a knitted jumper. This one here is from Ralph Lauren, and I just think I think something like this, right? Hear me out, because I know not everyone loves these, but I think it's a really handy layer because you can have your arms free. You can layer it with a t-shirt or with a shirt, and you've got a V-neck, so you've got a bit of room in the neck. It's also fun because you've got the pattern on it. And it's not that restricting, and it does give you loads of options. You can layer it with a coat or a jacket or something, and it's just a bit more fun than your basic sweater or knitwear. There's something going on. Of course, the person you're buying for may hate this, so just kind of know their taste and buy something for them. But I think knitwear is something you can't really go wrong with as a genre of item, because people just like feeling cozy when the weather's not so nice, rather than say buying a coat or a jacket that you can get awfully wrong because it might not fit or something. Knitwear is kind of, it is what it is, right? If you know their size, you know they're a medium, get them a medium. And finally, because you know I like it, I've got some gin here. This one is Bathtub Gin, and actually I finished it the other day, it's now empty. The reason I'm selecting this as one of my Christmas gifts is because this was a Christmas gift for me last year from my wife, and I really like how you can sort of personalise the packaging of the Bathtub Gin. My wife got me, it says, "Merry Christmas to my most gorgeous gin bobs," and I just think that's a really nice touch. Obviously, you can buy anyone a bottle of alcohol, and great, lovely, you know, but there's something nice about personalising the bottle, so every time they drink it, they, you know, can maybe give you a little toast or something. Anyway, that is the end of my Christmas gift guide. I hope it helped in some way, and I hope you're starting to feel festive, because actually, until I did my Christmas shopping, I wasn't at all. So I would say get stuck in and then start feeling all Christmassy. Thank you very much, and I will see you very soon. Goodbye.